All right, today we're going to talk about something that could totally flip how you think about your career. It's called the Career Net algorithm, and it's all about learning how to network forward in time. Trust me, this might just change everything for you.
So what on earth does that even mean, networking forward? Well, most of us network sideways. We connect with people based on who they are right now, their job title, their company. But networking forward, that's about connecting with who they're becoming. It's about spotting the rocket ship just as it's starting to rumble on the launch pad.
Okay, so before we jump into the how, we've got to talk about why the old way of networking is so often, broken. It's actually built on a total illusion that has us all chasing the wrong things.
Look at this. On one side, you have broken networking. It's all about lagging indicators, job titles, status, the money someone already has. It's completely reactive. But the Career Net algorithm, it's the total opposite. It looks for leading indicators, things like a person's trajectory and their patterns of behavior. It's not reactive, it's predictive.
And this right here is the absolute core mindset shift you have to make. This is the foundation for the entire system, and it changes the game completely. You're no longer just looking at a resume, you are betting on raw potential.
All right, let's get into our first hidden code. This is all about learning to predict the future. It's about spotting the future leaders, the future creators, way before they have the fancy titles to prove it. You're looking for that exponential curve just before it goes vertical.
And here's the thing, the people with the highest potential, they almost never look impressive on the surface, at least not yet. They're often the ones who are underpaid, overworked, kind of ignored by the mainstream, and are just completely obsessive. They aren't schmoozing at fancy conferences, they're in the garage building quietly. So how do you actually find these people? Simple. You ask better questions. You have to ditch the boring, "So, what do you do?" That just gets you a static title. Instead, try asking things like, "What problem are you totally obsessed with fixing?" Or, "What are you building after hours?" These questions, they reveal trajectory. They uncover the real signals of someone who's on a mission.
And that brings us to the first, absolutely crucial rule of this whole algorithm. A title is just a snapshot of the past. Trajectory, on the other hand, is a projection of the future. By focusing on trajectory, you're not just networking anymore. You're investing your time and energy in an exponential curve. Okay, so that leads us right into the second code. Once you've spotted someone on that upward trajectory, how do you connect? The key is to signal your value from the very first interaction. You have to become useful before you ever ask for a single thing.
Look, this is something you can use immediately. We've all heard it, right? Let's grab coffee, can I pick your brain? Those are low-value asks that these high-potential people hear all day long. Instead, you've got to lead with a give. Connect them to someone valuable you know, solve a tiny problem for them, bring them a new insight they haven't seen. You're not taking their time, you're actually adding to their leverage.
And when you do this, when you lead with value, you're sending this powerful, unconscious signal. And that signal is, "I think like an owner, not a taker." You're communicating that you operate on the same level as someone who creates value, not just someone who consumes it. That is the language that ambitious people instantly recognize and respect. All right, code number 3. This one's about proximity. And I'll tell you right now, forget the cocktail parties. The single best way to build genuine, powerful relationships is to create something together. So here's the big hack. Stop asking to be mentored. That immediately sets up this taker dynamic, right? Instead, you start something. You build a prototype. You launch a little venture. You publish some original thinking. Then you invite the person you admire to engage with it. Invite them to advise, to contribute, maybe to pressure test the idea. This completely flips the dynamic. Because think about it, real trust, real respect, that's not formed over a latte. It's forged in the trenches, right? Hitting deadlines, solving problems together. When you build alongside power, the hierarchy just collapses, and suddenly you're a peer.
Okay, so we've got our 3 codes, but how do they all fit together? How do they work as a system? Let's look at how they build into this repeatable loop. This is the algorithm in action.
Okay, here it is, broken down into 4 simple steps. Step 1, you scan for trajectory, not for titles. Step 2, you signal your value first without asking for anything in return. Step 3, you create real proximity by building something together. And step 4, the most important part, you repeat this process. Every single time you run this loop, you're not just adding a contact, you are compounding the quality of your entire network.
So, why do all this? What's the real long-term payoff for thinking and acting this way? Well, this is where we get to the big secret, the thing that almost everyone misses when it comes to building real generational connections.
You know, when people achieve massive success, they have this crystal clear memory of the journey. And they never, ever forget the people who were there at the very beginning. The ones who saw the potential when no one else did. The ones who helped when there was absolutely no obvious personal gain. The ones who played the long game with them. Being an early, genuine ally, that is the most valuable currency you can possibly have.
And here's what that actually looks like. This is the direct result of being that early ally. This is how ordinary people get those extraordinary, life-changing opportunities. They get offered equity and end up on cap tables. They get brought into those trusted inner circles. They become the first person called when a massive new opportunity comes up. You don't get there by networking sideways, you get there by networking forward.
So when you boil it all down, it's not about the size of your address book, not at all. It's about your skill in pattern recognition. Your future isn't determined by your network. It's determined by your ability to see where the next powerful networks are forming before they become obvious to everybody else. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Are you chasing today's power, the titles, the status, the established names? Or are you learning to identify tomorrow's by recognizing momentum before the rest of the world catches on? The choice is yours.